Hi, everyone. My name is Felicia Giouzelis. I am a spiritual teacher and a master healer. I specialize in the Akashic Records, and that's exactly what we're talking about today. What are the Akashic Records, and why should you consider incorporating them into your journey? So if you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm really happy you're here, and I'm excited to tell you about the Akashic Records because actually I absolutely love working with them. I've been working with them for 3 years now. The first part of my journey was working with the archangels. That was how I just intuitively opened up one day. That was the first being I ever heard was Archangel Michael. But I don't want to focus on that in this video. So if you haven't already checked it out, go look at my About Me video on this channel and we will link to it here as well. But about the Akashic Records, I started working with them in May of 2014. And so it has, at the time that I'm recording this video, been 3 years this month. I'm celebrating my 3-year anniversary of working with the Akashic Records. And it's been a really interesting whirlwind, to be honest with you. I walked into the Akashic Records one day not knowing anything about them. I was in a training program and they handed us a PDF that was like 3 pages long, and they said, okay, this is the Akashic Records, this is what they are, etc. And I had never heard of them before. I had no idea, but at the same time, I also deeply felt interested, right? So there was this call to consider that this was actually real and that there was something there for me. So I think we've all had things like that come up sometimes. It's like you may not know about something, but you feel very drawn to it. That's what happened with me. And so one day I basically just fell into the Akashic Records and I followed this process that they gave us in the PDF. And I showed up and my guide was there. We all have Akashic Records guides that show up to help us navigate the records and teach us how to properly use them, because there are very specific rules with accessing the records and knowing what you can and cannot do. And it's very critical to work with the records and follow their rules. And they do have a lot of them, but they're very kind, very generous, and always willing to help. So what are the Akashic Records? Now, when we're working with energy, we have all these different levels of energy, okay? So when, let's say God or the universe is the very top, okay? The Akashic Records are just below, okay? They're just right here. God created the records. Now, the records track every single thing that our souls experience. This is not your first rodeo, probably here on earth. You've probably incarnated before many times, some of us hundreds, some of us thousands of times, depending on the age of the soul, right? And we're all living these lifetimes. This is another topic entirely, but we're all living them all at the same time. This is called an oversoul, right? I'll do another video on that someday. But the Akashic Records are tracking all of the information that our soul experiences. So even me picking up this pen and making this video and talking to you about this topic today is recorded in my Akashic Records. In other words, it was destined already for me to be creating this video for you today. And you watching it, that was written. That was destined for you to watch this video and maybe start to ask some questions or start to research and wonder, what are these interesting Akashic Records and do I want to check them out? Do I want to incorporate them into my life? None of this is happening by accident. It's all in the Akashic Records. So the Akashic Records are the energy space where we can access this information. The easiest thing to compare it to is it's like a library. You don't need a library card. Anybody can get into this library, and it's the universe's library. That's what the Akashic Records are. So when you're ready or when you feel called to, you can access the Akashic Records just like I can Everybody can get into the Akashic Records, okay? It's not like some people have certain permissions, like I'm the special one. That's not the case. You can get in there as well. So when you're ready, the time is right, that will open up for you, or somebody will come along to teach you how to get in there, or you'll get in there on your own. Something will happen that triggers you to get in there, okay? So once you're in the Akashic Records, you have a soul book, literally a book, okay? And it has your name on it, and the name may be different than what your name is right now. You may have one of your past life names on it, but I guarantee you, when you grab your book and you look at it, you're going to recognize it very deeply. You're going to feel it in the heart and go, ooh, yeah, this feels like mine. It's going to feel like yours. It's going to look like yours. And all of that is amazing and incredible and beautiful. And you'll know, because you'll feel that this moment in time, when you have this book, literally you have the opportunity now to open it and understand what has brought you to this certain point in your life. What past life traumas have you experienced that you continue to experience in this lifetime? An easy example would be, let's say you always attract the same kind of relationship in your life, right? You can open this book and go, wow, look at all these lifetimes where I've been with the same kind of person. And then we can look at why. Why am I still attracting the same kind of person over and over and over again? And what can I do to break this pattern so I can have a loving and fulfilling relationship in my life, right? That's the benefit of the Akashic Records. You get in there, you see your pattern. You can choose to change it, but first you have to recognize it. You have to stop, look, listen, because they're going to tell you what your pattern is. Okay, so we're using all of our spiritual senses when we're accessing the Akashic Records. It's pretty freaking amazing. So those of you that think that you're not intuitive, no, that's not true. We've all been blessed with the same gifts. Like you weren't left out. Like God didn't forget about you. Okay. It's just a matter of releasing these blocks so that you can experience the full breadth of your intuition, right? Because you do have it. Now, someone like me, I love working with the Akashic Records. It's a huge part of my path. A part of your path may not be the Akashic Records. Maybe that's like one small part, but maybe you like working with angels or archangels, or you hear them very clearly, right? So we're not all going to end up doing exactly the same things. Like we all have these spiritual tools. We all have access to everything, but you're going to find one that deeply resonates for you. So it's not about, should I stick with the Akashic Records or shouldn't I? That's your call, right? You have to do what's resonating on your heart and in your heart, right? So back to the records. Now, when you get in there, you have the ability to look at all these patterns, right? But then you have to learn how to actually heal it, right? So there's a lot of people that they only teach you how to read the Akashic Records, or you'll do a reading with them and it's like, okay, they read it back to you and they tell you, because when it's a good thing, but you're able to make the connection in the brain, but what are you going to do about the healing, right? That's where someone like me comes in. Like we come in and we go, okay, listen, this is your pattern. And then I teach you how to break the pattern. It's not just about letting it go in the Akashic Records. What is the repeating pattern that you keep generating in your life? Like, are you using your free will for good stuff? Or are you recreating the naughty stuff that's not helping you, that's not contributing to your life, right? In a positive way anyway. So we have to look at that pattern logically. Listen, this is a blend of intuition and intellect. Use both. We have brains for a reason. If you know something crappy is happening in your life, we have to look at the pattern. It may have started in another lifetime. This is where the Akashic Records come in very handy. but it may have started in this lifetime. The Akashic Records still come in handy because that information is still in your soul book. So we look at it, we evaluate where it came from, and we heal it and let it go so that you don't keep creating the same patterns. That's what this is about. Aren't you tired of still dealing with the same crap? I know I am. Like, I have things that come up sometimes and I'm like, man, I am tired of being in this situation over and over again. I need to do something different. And the first place that I go is the Akashic Records. This is where we evaluate our patterns and see why we keep doing these things. We get an understanding, we heal it. And there are many ways to heal in the Akashic Records. One of the huge ways is forgiveness, just forgiving yourself. And the energy in the Akashic Records, because God and the universe created the Akashic Records, that energy is pure forgiveness. So when you're working within that energy, you're working with an energy of unconditional love already. We don't necessarily have that on Earth. In certain ways we do, but it's not exactly the best environment for cultivating unconditional loving energy. As you know, if you are here on Earth watching this, there's a lot of fear and things like that going on. So this gives us a safe space to clear the energy and let it go. Now, what are some things that you can clear and heal in the Akashic Records? Limiting beliefs. Let's say you have beliefs about money, and so you're always broke, right? You can literally open this book and look at your beliefs about money and literally figure out which beliefs stem from unconditional love. This is our Creator's energy, and which beliefs don't. And the beliefs that don't stem from unconditional love, they can be let go. Someone like me can teach you how to let them go, or the Akashic Records can teach you to let them go. The point is, let them go, let them flow. Have you ever heard that phrase, let go, let God? Just let it go. But what is really critical after this is when you let something go, you have to replace it. So what we do at this point is we bring in a new belief to replace the one that we just let go of. Okay? Now, that is something you will see immediately. Like, it's really critical to pay attention to this, because it's not just about letting it go, but it's about what affirmation, what new energy, what new belief are you bringing in that is going to replace this old one. Okay? It's like decluttering. It's like selling your couch and you bring in this awesome new couch that's like vibing with you, that you're really excited about, and it doesn't have pet stains on it anymore or hair or whatever. You have this new amazing couch that you feel really good about. And it's like, yes, your whole life can change with something like that. Or the people that you see get a completely new makeover and their lives change overnight because they were blessed with this makeover, right? And it just helped them feel more confident. That's what we're doing in the Akashic Records. We're going, what's the crap that's stored in our energy that is not serving our highest and best interests anymore? We identify it, basically target it, and we go, delete. We let it go. We get it out of your energy. And then we bring in brand new energy, so that you can start fresh. And it's really hard to describe it without actually trying it out, but it's amazing. That's just one of the ways that I use the Akashic Records. One out of the hundreds. I also have clients that come to me for physical issues. They have things going on. I'm working with clients right now on diabetes, for instance. Now, to be honest with you, I don't actually work on the diabetes. That's not what I do. I'm not a doctor, right? I'm not a licensed practitioner, but what I do really well is I work with energy. Where do I do this? In the Akashic Records, you guessed it. What do I do that makes me so successful with physical conditions? It's very easy. I go into the Akashic Records and I look for the root cause of the physical condition that the person is coming to me with. Clearly, I'm not working with the body. I'm working with the root cause. It may be in a past lifetime. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example. I've had clients before that have come to me for diabetes, and they've had past lifetimes where they were working on sugar plantations. Now, for whatever reason, something happened in this lifetime where they brought forward this energy, this belief, or trauma. Let's say they passed away in this lifetime on the plantation, right? Okay. I go and clear this lifetime. I have a process for doing that I've cultivated over my years working in the records, right? I go and I clear this lifetime fully and completely. And what happens? The body has no choice but to respond to the healing that we just did in spirit. It has no choice. We're going at it from a higher level. The body wants to feel better, wants to feel into alignment. And now that that root cause is no longer there, it starts to shape up. It starts to heal because we've just enabled it with faith, with clearing through the Akashic Records to heal. This is about targeting the root cause. Medications don't necessarily target our root cause. They target our symptoms. Yes, they make you feel better sometimes. Sometimes they don't. They make you feel worse. And they cause sometimes, a lot of times, more damage than good. So this is about targeting the root cause. We are looking for, where did this begin? Even if it wasn't in this lifetime. And the other thing I also do is, we're going to look at the present lifetime. By the way, everything I'm talking about, this is stuff that you can do. Okay? This is not some magical like formula. Yes, I have my own process created because I teach people how to work in the Akashic Records. I teach this, but that's my process. You can find your own process if you want to go do this, right? It's possible. That's what I'm trying to explain. Just don't get hung up on the logistics. Like, this is something you can do. Anybody can do. So it's about looking at the root cause in the past lifetime or in this lifetime, but also giving people the tools that they need to make changes right now. Sometimes, yes, things have come in from a past lifetime, but people are struggling with something right now related to the physical condition, right? So this is only about being completely open as an intuitive and listening to what Spirit has to say, because Spirit is going to guide you in the best way to heal. Always. They want us 100% healed. They want that for us. And they're going to help in any way possible. So listen, I know I went on and on in this video, but I really wanted you to get a sense of why I love the Akashic Records, why I use them, what they're all about, and what you can do to use them to heal yourself and your life. So one of the easiest ways to experience the Akashic Records without actually jumping in there on your own if you're not sure, or, you know, sometimes we're lacking some confidence when our intuitive abilities are first opening up. One of the first things you want to do is just experience a clearing for yourself. So there are a couple ways to do this. The first one, and I think the easiest and the least expensive, where you could just try it out, and I'm going to link to this below, is I have 3 hours or more of recordings where you just listen to them and they delete energy that's not helping you in the Akashic Records. And there are very specific topics that we're working with. One of them is money. Another one is success. Another one is healing your body, all in this $27 program. So that's the quickest and easiest way to try this out. See how you resonate with the energy. See how you feel after you experience a clearing. And then it's inexpensive. So try it out, see how it goes for you. And then if you want to further explore the Akashic Records, I'm also available to do sessions with you. I would love to see you for a session one-on-one. But first, I'd recommend trying this out and seeing how it resonates. So we're going to link to that below. I hope you enjoyed this video on the Akashic Records and that it resonated for you. I would love to hear what you think about it. Please subscribe, share the video, and comment below. I respond to as many as I possibly can. And I would love to hear what you think. And if you do end up exploring the Akashic Records, please let me know what your experience was and how you feel about it. And I will talk to you next time. Take care. Bye.